Tonight we're going to talk about customizing your drum sound. So I am joined here by John Good, the co-founder of Drum Workshop, and special guest Thomas Lang. So before we get going, if you have some speakers near your computer or a great set of headphones, why don't you plug those in so you can really get the best experience from the sound quality of these DW drums that you're going to hear here tonight. Here is John Good and Thomas Lang.
Thanks, Alric.
Thanks, Alric. Appreciate it. Hey, great to see you here again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Spent a lot of time in the house of Don Lombardi.
Absolutely.
You know, doing a lot of workshops and such here.
Exactly.
It's a very comfortable place to be.
I love it. It's, you know, every drummer's dream come
and
true.
It kind of
Absolutely.
is, isn't it? It was his dream, and he's really making it come true. So we appreciate that.
Exactly.
And I appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule.
It's my pleasure.
You've been doing some things
I've
lately?
been, this year, pretty much on the road for 4 months with Paul Gilbert at the beginning of the year, and then doing a lot of recording sessions in my studio, working with people all over the world, and of course doing my boot camps and doing the big drum bonanza next week here, so it's been pretty busy.
Oh, we're going to all be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I know the last time I think I saw you, we were in Paris.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that was a fun thing.
We had a great dinner.
Peter Erskine was there.
Exactly.
It was great.
Exactly.
It's always so wonderful to have the involvement of Guitar Center. They've been partners with us in drum, making and selling pedals to them for so many years.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me that our relationship has grown to the point that it's at. And so we're happy to have all this happening for us today, and we're flattered that they are spending the time.
Exactly.
And, you and I have done a lot of things in our factory, and we've gone around and seen a lot of how shells are constructed. You've watched them be made, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
But just for the record, I really want to show you a few things, and I know I do it all the time. Everybody, I keep wanting to show them how veneer works.
I want to see it again because
let's.
I always learn a little bit more. And
let's dabble with that because there's a
dabble.
lot of information. Helping me today is Scott Garrison, and thank you, pal. Now, do you know how far I had to go to find a tree that had an arrow in it? Anyway,
that was difficult.
what this is we'll show the audience here some 1/36 of an inch, very thin maple, okay? Maple veneer, and the grain is running in this direction, right? If you could just hold out one hand, look at how strong that is.
Yeah,
right?
it is indeed. It's got a lot of tension.
It's got a lot of
It's a lot
tension
of natural
and
stability.
strength, right?
Absolutely.
And it's
yes.
so thin.
Absolutely.
Now, when I hope we can hear with the lav. Maybe we should move up here to this, okay? Just because I'm going to tap on this, okay? Every piece of wood has a musical note, right?
Yeah.
See how I'm tapping this?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold it, and I want you to tap on the top.
Pitch goes
Isn't that
up.
remarkable? How
Beautiful.
So it does it all with tension. Feel the tension here, right? Can you feel the tension?
Absolutely. I can feel it. I can feel it.
So we're going to call that horizontal grain.
Yeah.
All right? Then I have a same size, thank you, piece of veneer. As you see, the arrows are running, the grain is running the other direction.
It
And
already looks
it does
floppy.
that. It's floppy.
It's floppy. There's no tension at all.
No tension.
No stability.
And it has a note, if you really listen,
It's very low.
it's very low,
Yeah.
and I can't change it because I can't put any
Tension
can't
on
put
it.
any tension on it. So we're going to call that vertical grain.
Okay.
All right? And then I have another piece that's crazy 45-degree cut, right?
Yeah.
So if you hold your hand, it kind of corkscrews like this.
Yeah.
And if you were to tap right there and I square this up, watch
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
So it gets its tension
Gets higher.
a whole
Pitch.
different way.
Yeah.
So we're going to call that diagonal grain, right? All right. So because it's important to this very first kit that you're going to be playing here,
Yeah.
I want you to understand how we can interact and blend different types of shell construction all into one kit. We call that SSC, Specialized Shell Configuration.
Perfect.
Okay?
Perfect.
So I've got 5 shells I want to show you here.
Okay.
Thank you. The first shell is a 7-ply shell with a 3-ply reinforcing hoop, okay?
Yeah.
Now it's
That's maple?
horizontal. It's all, yeah, this is all maple, by the way.
Yeah.
Horizontal on the outside, horizontal on the inside, cross-laminated in between. We have to
Okay.
do that or else they wouldn't have any strength.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm just going to set this here for a second. And then if I could have the second shell, thank you. That is the same shell as the first one.
Yeah.
Horizontal, 7-ply.
no-
But I took the hoops out.
Okay.
So
No
the
reinforcement
thicker
rings.
the shell, higher the pitch, thinner the shell, lower the pitch. More mass higher, less mass lower. Those are the rules of
More
Mother
mass
Nature.
higher, less mass lower. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Mother Nature's rule. Okay?
Okay.
So now, the pitch from that first shell to the second shell will go up or down.
So
Uh-oh, I put you on the spot.
yes. No, I can work this out. Reinforcement rings, more mass,
More mass, so I took them
course.
out. It's going to go
lower.
down.
Yeah.
Then I got this third shell that is a thicker shell. Those were 7-ply.
Yeah.
This one's 8-ply.
Okay.
All right, now the pitch should go
Yeah.
because think about cymbals, you know. A thicker cymbal has a higher pitch,
Sure,
a thinner
sure.
one has a
Okay,
lower pitch,
yeah.
right? But this is vertical grain here.
I was going to say, doesn't it depend on the orientation?
That's the whole point.
Exactly.
That's what
Not-
that's what we're on about. That's
Yeah,
what I
okay.
love about the way that we can manipulate some of these different sounds.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I think it is. And this one is an 8-ply shell that's in this pattern. It goes like this, then it goes like
Okay.
that, it goes like this, goes like that.
X,
I stayed
okay.
up all night trying to figure out the name of the shell, came up with the X shell. Genius, right?
Genius.
So then that's the fourth one. Then we have one that's an 8-ply X shell, right? But 2 of the plies are vertical on the inside. So let's listen to these shells. Hopefully our audience out here can hear this sound. Okay, that's the first shell. And you predicted that it would go down.
Incredible. Yeah. So that's the same shell, no reinforcement rings, same
Now a
thickness.
thicker shell,
8 mil, no, 8 ply.
8-ply,
Wow.
it really goes.
Wow.
And then the X shell, which goes
No. Wow.
much lower. Can you feel that?
I can, yeah.
And then the VLX, I call it, it's got 2
That's one,
vertical
okay.
plies.
Wow.
That's subsonic, right?
Yeah.
So we go from there all the way back up to here.
Incredible.
And what we've done is we've played with the grain orientation, rather.
How did you, I want to ask you, how did you first discover that? You
Well-
were playing with veneers and sitting in your office and you were lifting things and shuffling different kinds of veneers and you
way-
realized they had tension or?
The way it actually really happened was I was building drums and I would take curly maple.
Okay.
Now, curly maple, the grain's running this direction,
Yeah.
but the structure of the figure is vertical, and they were always lower.
Okay.
So I said to Sean Smith, who's my shell guy here, I said, let's just turn the grain that way. Which, by the way, opened up phenomenal doors.
Right.
Not all trees are wide enough to get
Of
around
course,
a bass
yeah.
drum or a floor tom. So that means we could actually book match pieces together of beautiful exotic woods.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic, and we'll get into it maybe another time. So anyway, that's the whole idea of this. We call it SSC, Specialized Shell Configuration, and that's what this kit is right here. So the first tom is an X shell.
Okay.
Then we have
So that's low.
it's gonna, because 8-inch toms have a tendency to go bump, and then the other ones go doom doom.
Right, exactly.
So the interval's so big between them.
Absolutely.
So I
Couldn't
try and
agree
bring
more.
it down.
That's perfect, yeah.
So that's an X, VLT, VLT, X, VLX, and this baby here is a VLX plus.
Okay, which is?
It can hurt small animals at 100 yards because typically I have 2 vertical plies and an 8-ply X shell. This one I put in 3, and if you really twist my arm, I'll put in 4.
Really? Wow.
So yeah, so it makes
So-
it all fun. Then we got a VLT snare there, and I just feel that it would be interesting for you. I want to have your feelings about this whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a whirl.
I'll give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
This is Maple
Maple SSC.
SSC. I'll just play a little bit of the toms first, just to
Okay.
hear what the kit sounds like. Wow, indeed.
God, you're so good. I mean, I never
Wow.
forget how good you are, but you are really something else.
Thanks.
Anyway,
You too, John.
No,
You
this
too.
It makes me happy to put instruments under you to
Well,
allow you to do your thing.
You know,
And
what
really-
you do is a big part of my inspiration that I get from the instrument.
Oh,
you
thank
know?
you,
And
man.
in this
mutual.
case, not only is it beautiful with the black nickel hardware, it's just absolutely stunning, a really beautiful, elegant finish. But the sound, for me personally, and I need that inspiration from my instrument.
Right.
You know, whenever I sit down on a different kit with different shells or, you know, even different finishes and sizes, you get inspired to play a certain way, obviously. And this, to me, is just, you know, it's got the whole range. It's got a beautiful,
nice spectrum,
it's like the
right?
whole spectrum. It's like a rainbow.
Yeah,
It goes from,
There we
you
go.
know, really low, dark, beautiful sort of character in the low end to nice, punchy attack. It has everything.
yeah.
It's a really wide, beautiful spectrum.
That was
So-
the intention of this whole thing.
yeah, and especially this, of course, with the specialized shell configuration, it's incredible. Like you said, how organic, you know, the pitches flow down. You know, it's a really beautiful, you know, set of intervals going from the 8-inch tom, which is not too high, and it's almost like an optical illusion. You hit this thing, and the sound that comes out of this small drum
little
is
X, yeah.
beefy and low. It's beautiful.
Now, you know, what we do on top of all of this, you know, in the shell construction, by the way, you know, we go through an awful lot. You've seen how this works, where we have the you know, we put the plywood together, and we put the plies in the molds, and the molds are, you know, we've got a patent on this process where it's under 2,600 pounds of pressure of 200 degrees of heat, and we take it out of there after like 5.5 minutes and put it in the same pressure of, you know, a tremendous 2,600 pounds in a cold machine, and it just takes all that heat away, and the wood can't go anywhere.
Right.
So we call that cool tempered shells.
Right.
So once we've done all that and we've created these shells, now you're going to have, like, you know, some X8s, some VLT 10s, 12s, and so on. You have to timbre match them.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, the timbre matching process is very, very important. Why don't I show you a little bit of that?
Yes, please. I actually always wondered how you do that. So
Well, I'll
love
tell
to
you.
see it.
We take, oh, it should be here. There we go. This is how this is done. Now, you see, this is a regular DW standard shell. And listen to the timbre.
Standard is VLX.
No.
No.
Standard, this one is just a 6-ply shell with a 3-ply reinforcing hoop.
Oh, okay.
Horizontal and
okay.
cross-laminated,
Okay,
all right?
yeah.
But listen to the timbre,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then the same shell. I just got this off the shelf 10 minutes
Right.
ago.
Incredible, yeah.
But you know, why are they so different? Because everything is constructed exactly the same. It's like the best way to tell you is you and I are two men and we should be exactly the same. Well, they're all cold tempered.
Okay.
But what it does, the reason you have to timbre match it is you cannot just grab
Oh, sure,
a shell
of course.
off, like here's a 12. Listen to this 12,
Right.
right? And listen to the other 12. I just grabbed these.
Okay.
So this one may not go with this one. This is the
Sure.
higher, listen.
Let's listen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Won't go there. So that one would go with
With
this
the low
one.
one. Exactly.
And then the higher one would go with this one. Listen.
Yeah.
See, that's a pleasing interval.
Yeah.
The intervalic relationship is so important, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we do this with all of our drum sets. Timbre matching is probably one of the most important things that we really tout.
What is it? What has that effect on the shell? Is it just the fiber in the wood, the density of the wood? Or,
Well, you know,
and you can't control it
you
because
can't
every
make
tree is a little
each-
different.
That very much so.
Yeah.
And you can't make every piece of plywood exactly the same with the
Of course.
exact same glue. So you just have to match them up.
Right.
And it's something that we've been doing at DW for
Yeah.
many, many years.
Yeah.
So
It makes a huge difference.
can't stress that point enough. So timbre matching is really important.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about maybe a couple more shells. Garrison, would you pass me? We're going to play. Yeah, I want to tell you about the jazz series real quick
Yeah.
because there's so many selections. You've played the jazz series.
I have.
And what we did, Don and I were talking one day, and he said, you know,
This is gum, too,
maple
isn't it?
and gum.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful, it's a cool sound for a shell.
Mm-hmm.
And
A little bit retro sounding.
yeah, a little
maybe,
bit, but you can tune it into a higher register,
Exactly.
typically.
Yeah.
So instead of just being 1/36 of an inch for each ply, this is 2 maple, 3 gum, 2 maple, 7 plies, all right? 2 maple that are 1/36 each, but then there's 3 plies of gum in the core that are 1/20th, a bit thicker.
Okay.
So you really exploit what the gum is really
Right.
doing. Like, for example, listen. It's a really pretty,
Very round, beautiful,
pleasing sound.
yeah, absolutely.
It's softer sounding.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's been quite successful for us to have the jazz series go together. So we're very proud of that.
Beautiful.
And let's see, Garrison, would you pass me I want to talk about this. Here's another thing. HVX.
Okay, it's horizontal,
I
vertical.
know, I'm getting convoluted
No,
here.
it's good. I'm just analyzing.
It's
Okay.
horizontal, vertical, and X, all in one shell.
7 ply?
This one is an 8-ply shell.
8-ply.
And what this is the Performance Series.
Okay,
drums,
I love those.
which I really dearly
love
love.
those,
And they have, because of what we know about the veneer,
Yeah.
you can almost predict the timbre.
Right.
It's just like a combination that works just every time. Kind of a mid lower,
Yeah. Wow.
right? Really,
That's really low,
luscious,
actually. Beautiful. Yeah.
Very, very nice. So
Beautiful.
we're happy with that.
And the performances, they're all VLX.
HVX.
Oh, HVX.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I got
okay.
tongue twisters for days here coming because I'm going to mess it all up here in a minute.
Me too.
Yeah, no, you won't. And then we also make birch, which is, when I talk about this whole idea of the SSC, we can do that in birch. We can do it in cherry.
Of course.
We
Yeah.
can do it in maple.
Any-
And birch, sometimes you find yourself in the studio like all the time.
Right.
And sometimes you don't want to tape up your drum kit
No.
because it's ringing too long. So
Yeah.
that's where birch comes in as a very nice alternative because it's got a little bit of a shorter,
Nice.
sustain, but there's
Very
a
nice.
very nice note in there.
And it has a lot of crack, a lot of attack. I find.
Yeah, we find them to be just luscious, beautiful drums.
Absolutely.
So there's a myriad of all these shells.
Do you sometimes make a SSC kit out of different types of wood also? Or is
You know,
do you stick with the
I've
same?
done that because there's some certain players out there really feel that a connection to birch, but they like a maple kick drum.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
to answer your question, and then we can put like an exotic whatever on the outside, and we can really go to town.
Of course, yeah.
So my
Interesting.
priceless people who create
Anything
that are
goes.
just saying, John, would you just lay down and let it go for a while? I can't.
Anything goes.
So as we're
don't.
moving right
Carry on.
along, I wanted to show you this classic shell up here. Thank you,
Right.
Garrison.
That's
This
quite a hoop, isn't it?
Oh, so you know why that big hoop is in there?
No. This must be really thin.
Well, it is and it's not. This is horizontal mahogany on the outside and the inside,
Yeah.
but 3/16 of an inch of poplar in the middle.
Oh,
now
okay.
poplar's a bad boy. It doesn't like to behave.
Right.
So it'll go out of
Poplar is
shape.
really sort of, a lot of the vintage kits are poplar, aren't they?
Very much so,
Yeah.
and they have a darker
Yeah.
kind of sound about them. But there's a thing there,
Right.
depending on your head combination, et cetera,
Sure.
et cetera. But listen, you can hear the pitch is going to be a little bit higher because of the hoops,
Okay.
because of that mass. But listen, there's
Yeah.
there's a thing. Maybe another time we'll do a demo on this kind of a kit. But this really, and and by the way, if anybody who goes to the DW website, dwdrums.com, there's a lot of this info
Of
out
course,
there.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
It's just fun to share it today.
Oh,
with you.
of course.
So anyway, we went from this to this newer shell, which is called the Maple Mahogany.
Oh, yes.
Then I turned the mahogany vertical,
Yeah.
and you know what's going to happen? It's going to make this richness happen.
That's my absolutely favorite shell.
You have
right
a
now.
kit.
I have a kit like that. Short stack maple mahogany is absolutely incredible.
And I just want to show you the veneer that goes with that. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Isn't it? It's
It's
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Just
It's
absolutely
gorgeous.
Yeah, let's walk over there.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it
exactly.
might be time to check these babies out.
Yeah.
So as you can see, all these drum sets all have just clear lacquer on them.
Wow.
And
This
this one
is
has
stunning.
This one has chrome hardware.
Yeah.
But just please check it out
Yeah.
and tell me what you think.
Oh, I know these really well. I mean, I play the maple mahogany literally every day. Mm-hmm. And love them. Love them.
I do too.
Absolutely love them.
Why am I standing here talking? I can just listen to you play all day. You know, that's music right there.
Absolutely. It's really, really inspiring. It's so much fun to play these for me. And I like it's very punchy. It's quite bright, I think. It's got a lot of attack. It also has, a lot of like really sort of pronounced and pointy low end.
Mahogany is such a musical wood.
It's absolutely musical.
It really is.
It's colorful. It's really inspiring, and I think the word is musical. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean that was great. I mean, I love the way these drums sound as well.
And they're gorgeous.
I mean, just naturally gorgeous, right?
Absolutely stunningly beautiful. Yeah.
Well, and so keeping with the theme of giving people all these various different choices, I wanted you to understand that we came along. It was with Guitar Center actually, Alric, what was it about? I think 3 years ago, I was making some cherry drums. I just wanted to dabble, and those folks are always so like, yeah, let's go. I mean, that's what I love about that.
Yeah.
Those people. Anyway, and so what we did was I made some in all the SSC things, and I discovered that that's cool, and I'll do that all day, any day.
Right. Yeah.
But I came up with another configuration, which is going to make it just a little more complicated.
Of course.
HVLT.
Okay.
Now, what HVLT is a horizontal outer. I just recently did a thing with Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah.
That's.
I saw that. It's fantastic.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. It's really, really great.
It was fun. It was, but the making of that kit.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
And he describes it as the loaf of bread.
Exactly.
The crust on the outside and the really nice,
great
inside.
description. Yeah.
and that's what this kit is. I just want you to see the veneer first.
Yeah. How thick is this?
This is 136 as well. But you see, cherry veneer has such a pronounced appeal about it. When it pops out like this, when you can stain this, and I'm just scratching the surface with the cherry stuff because it is so gorgeous. The rotary cut, but man, is it pretty.
This is a horizontal.
Yeah, it's a horizontal.
It seems to have a little less tension than Maple, for example.
You're absolutely right. And then what's going to happen here is you're going to find that these drums are a bit darker, lower. Because of that H on the outside, we put the crust of the bread.
Right.
And then the basically VLT shell on the inside. Okay. So I want to show you how, how just musically darker and mysterious these drums sound. Listen to this.
Beautiful.
I mean,
gorgeous.
It's got a real musicality about it, but it's
beautiful.
Very, very different.
Just beautiful coloring, beautiful shell.
I've always loved cherry. So,
wow.
So anyway, so we've gone through this project. It's kind of the newest thing.
Yeah.
Although there are some other things.
I heard. You have to tell us more about that.
I will in a second. But before we go there,
now may I?
I wish you would, please. I know you'll do them
I've been waiting for this
extreme
all day.
justice.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I dropped my pack.
Okay. that snare on for a sec. I want you to hear the crack that comes out
Gorgeous.
of that bad boy. You're
Super dynamic, beautiful.
It is dynamic. You know, that snare, the reason I said, that's a 12-ply snare.
Right.
8 plies here. 7 plies here in the 8s.
Okay.
And then on down, 8 ply, and the kick drum is 10.
Oh, less than a snare.
No, more in the snare. So
10 and this is 12, I thought.
that snare is 12.
Yeah.
Less than the kick, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the combination of the HVLT is working very well. This has got that nickel hardware on it.
Beautiful. It is so elegant and just absolutely
Kind of
gorgeous.
become my favorite now.
It's not quite gold and it's not chrome. Exactly.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. It's right in there between. It's really beautiful. And I mean, also it just goes so well with the cherry veneer. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love, it's really dark. It's very mysterious, dark.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of character. It's just really... It's just gorgeous. So much
It's rich.
character, so much color, dark, rich, voluptuous, you know, and a lot of great punch. I love the kick drum, the punch on the.
Yeah. Knock
You
over.
can really feel, and the resonance of the kit, it's just really inspiring, I think.
Well, thank you. And I think that when you timbre match them all together, you get this combination, the thicknesses of the shells and all that stuff, put it all together in a package like that,
Absolutely.
you really can't go wrong.
Absolutely.
So,
This is a absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous kit. I want one.
okay. Well,
two.
I think you're on. So come on over here for a sec, and I just want to say a few things about, your expression on a drum kit is second to none.
Well,
You have to be
thank
one
you.
of the absolute best drummers I've ever known.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I heard different things from each kit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that to our audience it might appear to be somewhat subtle in a lot of ways,
I think so.
but when you're behind the kit, that's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. I mean, it'll probably never translate exactly in that way via, a computer screen or something. But if you're in a room with this, or if you're micing this and you experience it live or in the studio, I think the difference is quite substantial.
Yeah,
Not so subtle, actually. When I sit behind it and I play it, it feels very different. And I'm trying to play, today for this purpose, a lot of toms and some slow notes and some fast notes to hear the difference between, a nice long resonating sort of note and some dense playing so you can hear attacks. So I'm trying to mix it up on each kit. And I think, for me personally, behind the kit, there's a big difference.
Well, and they track really nice to what you're playing. That when you're playing very open, airy fills, etc.,
Yeah.
they're right there. But when you want to crank it up, they sing.
Oh,
with you.
they do it all, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm just very pleased with how all this has gone together.
Yeah.
And there's like I said, there's a few more things that are going to happen that I'm
Yes.
very
I'd love to
excited
hear more.
about. We have this new design series coming out.
Okay.
And that's going to be an HVLT Maple kit, but the plies aren't 136, they're 132nd. It's all
Okay.
maple that I'm getting from Michigan.
Okay,
and
yeah.
By the way, that cherry's from Michigan.
Oh, okay, also
I'm
beautiful.
from Michigan.
Ah, there you go.
Hey,
Close
it
to
all
home.
works.
Exactly.
Right? So,
Keep it local.
And for me, I just think that we're coming to a very, very righteous place with ways to satisfy anyone's
Absolutely,
needs.
it's amazing the kind of range that you have now in all your kits. I mean, obviously the wood selection, the combinations of wood, and the grain orientation. I think there's something for everybody out there.
And not to say that any one of these is better than the other.
No, it's
right?
like having children, you know. But
exactly.
again, one is maybe more into science, and one is more into arts.
Right,
And you need, you love them all the same way, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's the same here. I think they all serve not only a different purpose musically, but also they serve the player, and the player is an individual and has his or her sort of artistic thoughts and ambitions, and the instrument can support and match that.
Yeah.
And there may be subtle differences or vast, drastic differences, but at least now they have all the tools they need for the job and different tools.
I'm hoping that our audience could hear a lot of these differences in these sounds, and it's to me it's remarkable. And if you say to yourself, I'm looking for this particular sound, I think that with with all the stuff that we're trying to do here, we can probably satisfy those needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And,
So it's like Alric, what do you think? Are you happy with our little demonstration here?
Beyond happy, actually amazed. It's funny because I've seen Thomas perform so many times, and I've been here to the Drum Workshop Factory more than a few times since we're so close to you guys, and it never gets old coming here to see all of this, to hear the story, and of course to watch Thomas perform on these wonderful Collector's Series drum sets. Yeah, really amazing stuff. I think we have reached the end of our program here.
I don't want to go.
I know, we're having so much fun.
Yeah.
I want to play with more drums.
This man makes it so much fun.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I can't thank you enough for coming by. And
my pleasure.
We'll be getting together next week, right?
Absolutely.
With the camp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I really look forward to that.
Thank you.
Thanks to Thomas, thanks to John, and thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
See you later, guys.
Good night.